The morning sky over New Terra burned with color. Shades of gold and silver shimmered across the horizon as the people of Earth gathered near the capital's landing field. Everyone looked upward, holding their breath. For the first time in history, the Vereen Empire was sending a royal visitor to Earth. The Vereen were not human. They came from a distant star, their skin carrying a soft blue glow like living light. Their voices were calm, their movements perfect and graceful, their minds sharper than any machine. To humans, they were a mystery wrapped in beauty. To the Vereen, humans were unpredictable creatures of feeling and chaos. From the vast silver ship that hung in the sky, a bright light opened, forming a bridge to the ground. The crowd watched in silence as figures stepped down. Vereen guards dressed in smooth white armor that looked like liquid glass. And then she appeared. Princess Rhaenyra of Vereen walked down the light bridge with her chin high and her long silver robe flowing behind her. Her eyes glowed faintly like stars. Every step she took was measured, perfect, and silent. Around her, the air seemed to hum with energy. The Earth Council had chosen Commander Leo to meet her. He was not the strongest soldier or the smartest scientist, but he was calm, honest, and patient. They said he had the kind of heart that made people trust him. That was why he was standing there now, waiting as the princess approached. When Rhaenyra reached the ground, she stopped in front of him. She looked at Leo as if studying a strange creature. For a long moment, she said nothing. The silence grew heavy until Leo bowed slightly and spoke. "Welcome to New Terra, Princess Rhaenyra. On behalf of humanity, I greet you." Her eyes did not blink. Her voice was clear and soft, but there was a sharp edge to it. "Your kind has a curious way of speaking. You greet as if you own this ground." Leo kept his tone steady. "This ground is Earth soil, but today it belongs to peace. You are our guest." Rhaenyra tilted her head. "Peace is not owned. It is maintained. We will see if humans are capable of that." Without another word, she turned and walked toward the silver platform that would take her to the council building. Leo followed beside her. Every movement she made seemed controlled, like a dance rehearsed 1,000 times. He noticed she never touched anything around her. Even when a gust of wind lifted a lock of her shining hair, she did not brush it away. Inside the council building, the air was cool and quiet. Earth's leaders waited behind a wide glass table. The Vereen guards took positions near the walls, their glowing eyes scanning every movement. When everyone sat, the meeting began. Rhaenyra spoke first. "The Vereen Empire comes not to conquer but to unite. A storm is coming through the void. It is not of fire or stone, but of energy. It will consume all who are unprepared. We have seen the signs. Your world is near the path of destruction." The words echoed through the hall. Some council members whispered in disbelief. Others frowned, trying to understand. Leo leaned forward. "What kind of storm? How can we prepare?" Rhaenyra looked at him again, her gaze steady. "You cannot prepare alone. Our empire has technology to shield worlds, but the shield requires balance. The energy of two worlds working as one. That is why I am here, to judge if humans are ready to stand beside us." A quiet murmur filled the room. Humanity had dreamed of joining the stars, but no one expected it to happen like this. One council member asked, "And if we are not ready?" Rhaenyra answered without hesitation. "Then the storm will take you. The universe does not wait for those who hesitate." Leo felt a chill in the air. There was no threat in her voice, only truth. He could tell she believed every word. When the meeting ended, she stood and said she would stay aboard her ship until further notice. She did not say goodbye, only nodded once before leaving the hall. As Leo watched her go, he felt both respect and frustration. She was proud, almost cold, yet there was something beneath her words that sounded like fear. Maybe not fear for herself, but for something larger. That evening, the great ship Luminar hovered above the clouds like a second moon. From the ground, people could see its light shining over the ocean. Reports spread quickly across the cities. Some feared invasion, others called it hope. But for Leo, it felt like a test he did not yet understand. The next day, he received a message. It was simple and direct. "Commander Leo, you are to board the Luminar at dawn. Princess Rhaenyra has requested your presence." He read it twice. The message was signed with the seal of the Vereen Empire. When he arrived at the landing pad the following morning, the air shimmered again as the light bridge appeared. Leo stepped onto it, feeling a soft vibration beneath his boots. As he rose toward the ship, Earth grew smaller below him until it looked like a blue marble floating in the dark. Inside the Luminar, The walls glowed softly. The halls curved like living veins of crystal, pulsing with gentle light. Virine attendants moved quietly, their robes whispering as they passed. They looked at Leo with calm curiosity, as if he were both guest and experiment. A guard led him to a large chamber filled with shining pillars. Rhaenara stood near the center, facing a window that showed the stars beyond. She did not turn when he entered. "You came," she said. Her tone was not of surprise, only statement. "You asked for me," Leo replied. She turned then, her eyes glowing faintly. "I did not ask. I demanded. Humans do not seem to understand command when spoken gently." Leo smiled slightly. "Maybe we respond better to kindness than orders." Her expression did not change, but a small flicker passed through her eyes, almost like amusement. "Kindness. That is a word we have no equal for in our tongue." She stepped closer, studying him again. "You are strange, Commander. Your people live in chaos yet find peace in emotion. Your strength is not in power but in connection. I do not yet know if that is weakness or wisdom." Leo met her gaze calmly. "Maybe you'll find out." For a long moment, neither spoke. The hum of the ship surrounded them like a heartbeat. Finally, Rhaenara turned toward the window again. "The storm that comes will test every life in this galaxy," she said quietly. "Perhaps humans will teach even the stars what it means to endure." Leo looked at the endless darkness beyond the glass and felt something stir within him. Maybe this was how every great story began, with pride, curiosity, and two worlds about to learn from each other. And somewhere beyond the stars, the storm waited. The halls of the Luminar were unlike anything Leo had ever seen. Light flowed along the walls like liquid, changing color slowly from soft blue to silver. The air smelled faintly sweet, not like anything from Earth, and it carried a soft vibration almost like a heartbeat. Every step Leo took echoed strangely, as if the ship itself listened. Princess Rhaenara led the way. She moved gracefully, every motion deliberate. Leo followed quietly, trying not to disturb the rhythm of her world. He had learned quickly that the Virine did not speak unless necessary. Their silences carried weight, and the room seemed to hold its breath whenever she stopped. "You are quiet," she said finally. Her voice carried a calm authority that made Leo straighten. "Do you not have many thoughts?" "I have thoughts," Leo replied carefully. "But I listen first. Understanding comes before speaking." Rhaenara's glowing eyes studied him. "Interesting. Most humans speak to be heard. You listen to learn. Perhaps your kind is less chaotic than I expected." Leo smiled faintly. "Chaos teaches us sometimes. Calm teaches us more. Both are needed." For a moment, Rhaenara said nothing. Then she motioned for him to follow into a wider chamber filled with towering crystals. The pillars reflected light in strange patterns, sending colors dancing across the walls. Leo felt a strange warmth in his chest as he looked around, unlike the cold, measured energy he expected from Virine technology. "These are the life crystals," Rhaenara said, her tone more neutral now. "They hold energy that supports the ship and its shields. Touch them improperly and the energy can overwhelm you. Only those who understand balance may interact safely." Leo stepped closer. "Balance. I think I understand." Rhaenara's eyes narrowed slightly. "Then prove it." She extended her hand toward a large crystal at the center. Its surface glowed with pale blue light. "Place your hand here. Focus on life. Do not force. Only feel." Leo hesitated, sensing the unusual energy. It was like standing next to a living sun that could burn without fire. Slowly, he placed his palm on the crystal. Immediately, light surged through his hand, spreading warmth through his arm and chest. The crystal pulsed as if alive, responding to his presence. Rhaenara watched closely. The faint glow in her eyes grew brighter. She took a careful step closer. Most humans would have been harmed. The crystal would have rejected them. You are different." Leo pulled his hand back gently, feeling the energy recede but leaving a soft warmth behind. "It is not only strength that matters," he said. "It is understanding how to give and receive energy. You cannot dominate life. You must cooperate with it." Rhaenara's expression softened slightly, though she did not smile. "You speak as if balance is natural. For my people, control is everything. Emotions weaken judgment. Touch, warmth, laughter, they are unpredictable, dangerous." Leo glanced at her. "Or maybe they are powerful in ways you do not expect." She looked away, studying the stars outside the tall windows. For a moment she seemed smaller, less certain. You humans. You live in chaos, yet you survive. You touch things without fear and sometimes find strength. It is curious. The silence returned, but it felt different this time. Less formal, less tense. Leo could feel a subtle change in her energy, a kind of curiosity that bordered on fascination. Suddenly, the ship shuddered lightly. A low hum ran through the walls. The life crystals flickered as though responding to a distant disturbance. Rhaenyra stiffened immediately, her posture perfect and alert. "The storm is near," she said softly. "I feel it. It approaches faster than I expected. Our shields will not hold long if we are unprepared." Leo stepped closer to her. "Then we must work together. Tell me what to do." She shook her head slightly. "You do not understand. The shields require not only energy but synchronization. Two life forces must flow in harmony. Only a living bridge can connect the crystal energy to the human networks on your planet." Leo frowned. "Living bridge? What do you mean?" Rhaenyra hesitated. Then she said, "Someone must place their energy into the system while another guides it. Without trust, without connection, the energy will fail. I am not sure your kind can manage this without error." Leo smiled faintly. "You underestimate humans. We may be unpredictable, but we can adapt. We can learn. And we can trust." Rhaenyra's gaze flickered to him, and for the first time Leo noticed a subtle change. The faint glow of her skin seemed warmer, as if responding to him. She turned back to the crystals and placed her hands carefully on the largest pillar. Light spread from her fingertips, bright and controlled, but uneven at the edges. Leo stepped forward instinctively. He placed his hand near hers on the crystal. Immediately, the light around his palm shifted. It bent toward his warmth, stabilizing the edges. The crystal pulsed stronger, brighter than it had before. Rhaenyra's eyes widened slightly. You can control the crystal without instruction." Leo nodded. "I felt its rhythm. I worked with it, not against it." She took a small step closer. "No Vereen has ever managed this without years of training. You are unique. There is a warmth in you. It is not just energy, it is life." Leo looked at her calmly. "Life is in all of us. Sometimes we only need to touch it to see its strength." For a long moment they stood side by side. Light from the crystal danced across their faces. She looked at him, studying him as if trying to understand a language that had no words. Leo felt the strange connection, the balance between their energies, and realized something profound. This was more than technology. This was a bridge between two worlds. Finally, Rhaenyra stepped back. "Perhaps humans are not as weak as my people believe. Perhaps you have strength we have never seen." Leo smiled. "And perhaps your people have strength you have not yet shared." Rhaenyra's lips curved faintly, almost a smile. She looked back at the window, the stars shining beyond. "The storm is coming, and it will test us all. Perhaps humans will teach even the stars how to endure." Leo glanced at her. "Then let us be ready. Together." As he turned to leave the chamber, Rhaenyra's soft voice stopped him. "Commander Leo, one more thing. You will need courage, patience, and understanding. The bridge will demand more than skill. It will demand trust." He nodded. "I can do that. Humans know how to trust when it matters most." Rhaenyra studied him a moment longer. The faint glow of her skin pulsed softly as if alive. "We shall see, human. We shall see." Outside the ship, the stars glimmered like diamonds. Somewhere beyond, the storm moved closer, carrying a force neither world had faced before. Inside the Luminar, two beings from different worlds had begun a quiet connection, the first step toward unity. One measured, logical, and glowing. The other warm, human, and full of life. And as the ship drifted through the stars, a new story of trust, courage, and shared destiny quietly began. The crystal chamber on the Luminar glowed brighter than ever. Light reflected off the smooth pillars and curved walls, filling the room with a soft, almost magical shimmer. Leo stepped carefully among the columns, his eyes tracing patterns in the glowing energy. Every movement seemed to ripple through the crystals as if they recognized him. Princess Rhaenyra stood at the center of the largest crystal, her hands hovering above its surface. The light responded to her presence, growing brighter at her touch. She had asked him to stay nearby, observing the process. "Commander Leo," she said, her voice calm yet commanding, "I need you to understand the energy before you try to control it. Focus on life, on harmony. Do not force it. Feel it." Leo nodded. He took a deep breath, closing his eyes for a moment. He had spent hours studying the patterns of the crystals. feeling their subtle vibrations and learning how they responded to his touch. Slowly, he placed his hand on the crystal's surface. The moment his palm touched the glowing stone, the energy pulsed through him, warm and alive. The crystal's light expanded around him, brighter than he had ever seen. It responded not just to his touch, but to the rhythm of his heartbeat. Leo could feel a strange connection forming, like two rivers merging into one. He adjusted his focus, sending calm, steady energy back into the crystal. The light stabilized, flowing smoothly across the pillars. Rhaenyra watched him carefully. She took a step closer, her glowing eyes reflecting in the crystal's surface. Most Virine cannot achieve this without years of training. Yet you, human, do it naturally. Why? Leo kept his eyes on the crystal. Because I feel it, not control it. I work with life, not against it. Rhaenyra's expression softened slightly. Life. Humans place so much value on life, on emotion, on unpredictability. My people have been taught that such things are weaknesses. Perhaps we were wrong. Leo withdrew his hand slowly, letting the crystal's glow fade gently. Weakness is only weakness if you fear it. Strength comes when you understand it. Rhaenyra looked at him, her gaze lingering. The faint glow in her skin pulsed slightly faster, a sign of curiosity she could not hide. You are different. I have not felt energy this way before, not even from my own people. For a moment, they stood together in silence, the soft hum of the crystals filling the chamber. Then Rhaenyra made a decision. If we are to survive the coming storm, we must try something unprecedented. The crystals must connect with Earth's energy systems directly, but only a living bridge can guide them safely. That bridge? Maybe you, human. Leo blinked. Me? Yes, she said firmly. Your energy interacts naturally with the crystals. You have warmth, balance, and life. You can guide the flow without causing an overload. No Virine has ever achieved this without decades of training. You may succeed in minutes. Leo hesitated, feeling the weight of responsibility. If it fails? Rhaenyra's voice was calm, not harsh, but full of certainty. Then the storm will reach your world, and mine. Lives will be lost. You must decide if you are willing to try. He nodded slowly. I will. She motioned toward the largest crystal, its surface glowing like a pool of living light. Place your hand here. Focus on connection, not control. Trust the energy. Leo stepped forward, placing his palm against the crystal. The moment he did, warmth surged through him. It spread from his hand to his arm, through his chest, and down to his legs. He felt the crystal pulse like a heartbeat, alive and responsive. Rhaenyra stepped closer, placing her hands near his. She did not touch him, yet her energy radiated toward him. He felt it brushing against his own, like the wind stirring across calm water. Together, their energies began to merge with the crystal. The light intensified, spreading across the pillars in waves. Leo adjusted his focus, matching his rhythm with the crystal's pulse. Slowly, Rhaenyra did the same, guiding the energy with precision. Their powers intertwined, creating a harmony neither had expected. Commander, Rhaenyra said softly, your presence, it strengthens the crystal. I feel something I cannot explain. Humans, you influence more than just energy. You influence life itself. Leo glanced at her. Perhaps the same can be said about your people. Logic, control, and precision. They are also a form of life. We only needed to meet in the middle. Rhaenyra nodded slightly, impressed despite herself. You are unlike any human I have encountered. Perhaps there is more to your kind than my people believed. Hours passed as they continued their experiment. The connection between human and Virine energy grew stronger. The light of the crystals pulsed in perfect rhythm, brighter than any Virine had recorded. Guards and attendants watched in awe. Some whispered quietly, afraid to break the silent focus of the experiment. Finally, the glow began to stabilize into a calm, steady light. The crystal hummed like a quiet heartbeat, balanced and alive. Leo slowly withdrew his hand, keeping his focus steady so the energy would not collapse. Rhaenyra did the same. The chamber was quiet. Both human and Virine took a step back, breathing evenly. The light dimmed slightly but remained strong, a sign that the energy had been successfully guided. Rhaenyra looked at Leo with newfound respect. You have done what no Virine could. You have connected life and energy in a way that is remarkable. Perhaps humans have a strength we did not understand. Leo smiled faintly. And perhaps your people have patience and guidance we need to learn. We are stronger together than apart. For the first time, Rhaenyra allowed herself to feel a small, quiet pride. She had not expected to feel admiration for a human. Yet standing there, Watching the glowing crystals respond to both of them, she realized the truth. Strength came in many forms, and sometimes warmth and unpredictability could achieve what pure logic could not. "Commander Leo," she said finally, her tone softer, almost thoughtful, "you will need to help us prepare for the storm. The crystals are stable for now, but their power alone will not protect the worlds. We must guide it further, and your human energy will be the key." Leo nodded. "Then let's begin. We have much to do and little time." As they left the chamber, the soft glow of the crystals lingered behind them. The energy they had shared had changed the ship subtly. Even the air seemed warmer, lighter, as if the experiment had left an imprint. Outside the chamber, the Virine attendants whispered quietly among themselves. They had seen something extraordinary. A human, small and fragile compared to their warriors, had touched life itself and guided it. It was a sight that challenged every belief they held. Rhaenyra walked beside Leo in silence for a moment. Then she spoke quietly, almost to herself. "Humans, you touch life in ways my people cannot. Perhaps this is why you endure, why your world has survived. There is power in connection, in warmth, in trust." Leo glanced at her. "Perhaps that is the strength we were meant to share with each other." Rhaenyra's eyes glowed faintly brighter. "Perhaps, yes." And somewhere far away, beyond the light of the stars, the storm continued to approach. But now, for the first time, both human and Virine had begun to prepare together for what was coming. The bridge between two worlds had been built, not with machines or weapons, but with life, trust, and understanding. And the journey had only just begun. This is part 3, fully exploring the experiment, showing the human warmth versus Virine logic, and building tension for the coming cosmic storm while keeping it clean, simple, and engaging. If you want, I can now write part 4 with the storm approaching and the joint effort to protect both worlds. Again in 1,000 words, third person, simple English. Do you want me to continue with part 4 now? The stars outside the luminar had grown brighter than usual. Leo watched from a tall observation window as streaks of light moved across the void. Rhaenyra stood beside him, her glowing skin reflecting the brilliance of distant suns. The storm they had feared was coming faster than anyone predicted, and its power was visible even from light years away. "The storm is not natural," Rhaenyra said quietly, her voice steady but tense. "It carries energy unlike anything I have ever seen. It will tear through worlds that are unprepared." Leo clenched his fists. "Then we cannot wait. We must act now." Rhaenyra turned to him, her glowing eyes sharp and focused. "You are correct. But action alone is not enough. We need precision, balance, and trust. The shield can only work if human energy and Virine energy flow together in harmony." Leo nodded. He had learned much about Virine energy in the last days, and he understood that this would not be like any battle he had faced. It was not strength against strength, but connection against force. Rhaenyra led him to the central chamber where the life crystals hummed with calm energy. The glow from the pillars filled the room with warmth. Guards and attendants waited silently, prepared to assist but not interfere. "The shield requires a living bridge," Rhaenyra explained as they approached the largest crystal. "One life force guides the energy through the crystals, while the other amplifies it to reach your planet. The connection must be perfect. Any disruption could cause failure." Leo stepped forward. "Then let me guide it. I have worked with the crystals before. I understand their rhythm." Rhaenyra studied him, her glow pulsing faintly. "If you are to become the bridge, you must place your hand here." She motioned to the central crystal, its surface shining like liquid silver. "And I will focus my energy alongside yours. Together we must become one rhythm." Leo placed his palm gently on the crystal. Immediately, warmth surged through him, spreading to every corner of his body. He felt the pulse of the crystal as if it were alive, responding to his touch. Rhaenyra stepped closer, her hands hovering above the crystal. The energy from her presence flowed toward him, a steady, glowing current that mixed with his own. The room lit up with radiant light. The life crystals pulsed in waves, reacting to the living bridge they had created. For a moment, the chamber seemed to float in time, suspended between the calm of the crystals and the fury of the approaching storm. "Focus," Rhaenyra said softly. "Do not fight it. Let the energy flow through you naturally. Trust me in yourself." Leo nodded, closing his eyes. He felt the storm's energy reaching the edge of their shield. It was immense, wild, and unpredictable, Yet he felt a strange rhythm beneath it, like the heartbeat of a living being. He adjusted his energy, guiding it into the crystals. The light responded, stabilizing the flow. Rhaenyra joined him fully, synchronizing her pulse with his. Their energies intertwined, human warmth blending with Vereen control. The crystals glowed brighter, sending a protective wave out into space. Leo could feel the storm pressing against the shield, testing its limits. Every second required focus, balance, and trust. "The shield is holding," Rhaenyra said, her voice steady but tense. "But the storm is stronger than predicted. We must amplify the energy further." Leo shifted slightly, letting his life force flow more freely. The crystal responded immediately, sending a surge of light outward. Rhaenyra adjusted her energy in response, controlling the flow with precision. Together they created a harmony that neither could achieve alone. Suddenly, a wave of energy from the storm slammed against the shield. The crystal trembled and the chamber shuddered. Leo felt the force against him, but he did not pull back. Instead, he focused on maintaining the rhythm, letting the energy flow through him like a river. Rhaenyra's hands glowed brighter as she reinforced the shield. "Do not falter," she said firmly. "Trust yourself, human. Trust our connection." Leo's confidence grew. He could feel the storm's energy twisting and turning, trying to break the connection, but their harmony held strong. The light from the crystals expanded, creating a protective bubble around the ship and extending toward Earth. Hours passed as they maintained the shield. Both human and Vereen felt exhaustion, yet neither wavered. Their connection had become more than energy. It was understanding, trust, and shared purpose. Every heartbeat, every breath became part of the rhythm that held the shield together. Finally, the storm began to retreat slightly, unable to penetrate the perfect balance of energies. The life crystals pulsed with calm strength, sending waves of light that reached across space. Leo opened his eyes, feeling the warmth of success flow through him. Rhaenyra stepped closer, her glow brighter and steadier than before. "You have done what I did not think possible. The shield is stable. The storm cannot break it. Your human energy, it is extraordinary," Leo smiled, though he was tired. "We did it together. Your guidance made the difference. Without you, I could not have managed it." Rhaenyra looked at him with a rare expression of respect. "Perhaps we have underestimated humans. Your warmth, your adaptability, it is more than strength. It is power." Outside the observation window, the storm's glowing tendrils retreated into space. Light and energy rippled across the void, but the shield held firm. The worlds of Earth and Vereen were safe, at least for now. Leo turned to Rhaenyra. "This is only the beginning. The storm may return stronger and closer, but if we face it together, we can survive anything." Rhaenyra nodded, her eyes glowing softly. "Yes, together. Perhaps this is the lesson my people needed to learn. Strength is not only in control, it is in connection, trust, and courage." The Vereen attendants and guards watched in awe. They had seen a human guide their most powerful technology and survive where logic alone could not succeed. Whispers spread quietly among them, questioning old beliefs and beginning to see new possibilities. Rhaenyra turned back to the crystal chamber. "Commander Leo, the bridge is not just energy. It is also hope. We have built something beyond technology. We have built trust between our peoples. This is what will save both our worlds." Leo nodded. "Then let us continue. The storm may test us again, but we now know we are stronger together than apart." The glow of the crystals filled the chamber, bathing both human and Vereen in calm, steady light. Outside, stars continued to shine, and the storm moved slowly across space, waiting for the next challenge. Inside the Luminar, two beings from different worlds had learned a new truth. Life, warmth, and connection were as powerful as any weapon, and as the first test of the storm passed, both human and Vereen knew that the future depended on unity, courage, and the unexpected strength of the human heart. The storm had passed. Its glowing tendrils receded into the far reaches of space, leaving the worlds of Earth and Vereen untouched. From the observation deck of the Luminar, Leo could see Earth's oceans shining in sunlight, unbroken and calm. Stars twinkled in the dark sky beyond, their light reflecting on the ship's smooth crystal walls. Rhaenyra stood beside him, her silver robes glowing softly. She did not speak at first, only gazed at the small blue planet below. For the first time, her usual calm and measured demeanor was accompanied by a quiet reflection. "The storm is gone," Leo said softly. "At least for now." Rhaenyra nodded. Yes, but the lessons remain. We have survived not because of power or control, but because of cooperation. Your kind has shown what is possible when warmth and logic work together. Leo looked at her, a gentle smile on his face. And your people have shown that focus, precision, and patience are strengths we can learn from. We were stronger together than apart. Renara's glowing eyes met his. I did not expect to feel this connection. My people value control above all, yet I have felt something I cannot explain. Your presence. It changed the energy of the crystals and perhaps even the energy of my people. Leo laughed softly. Humans have a way of touching life without meaning to. Sometimes we act without understanding, and sometimes we succeed because of it. She allowed a small, rare smile to form. Perhaps unpredictability is not weakness. Perhaps it is strength. The ship was quiet around them. Virine attendants moved silently, and the life crystals pulsed with steady, gentle light. The energy from the storm had left a mark, but it was now calm, balanced, and alive. Both human and Virine could feel it, a rhythm that had been impossible before Leo's intervention. Renara turned toward him. Commander Leo, humanity has earned more than survival today. You have shown courage, patience, and understanding beyond measure. I am grateful. Leo bowed slightly. I only did what anyone with heart would do. We work best when we trust one another. That is how we survive. Her glow pulsed softly. Trust, and it is rare in the Virine Empire. My people rely on logic and order. But what you have shown may change that. Perhaps our two worlds can learn from each other, not just to survive, but to grow. Outside the ship, Earth rotated slowly, peaceful and strong. Renara studied the planet, her mind thinking beyond the immediate victory. The humans have more courage than I expected, more strength than I imagined. If our worlds are to face the storms that may come, we must build bridges like this, not only of energy but of trust. Leo's voice was calm, steady. Then let's make sure the bridge lasts. We can share knowledge, train together, and protect each other. The storm may return, but we will be ready. Renara's eyes softened. She moved closer to him, her glow blending slightly with the warmth he radiated. You humans, you touch more than energy. You touch hearts. That is something my people have never understood. Perhaps now we can begin to. Leo felt a quiet pride, not for himself, but for the bond that had formed. It was more than survival. It was friendship, respect, and a connection that could last generations. And perhaps your people will teach us patience and balance in return. For the first time, Renara laughed softly. The sound was light, musical, and it echoed through the chamber like wind across the crystal pillars. Perhaps we will, she said. Perhaps we will. The Council of Earth was waiting for them when they returned. Messages had been sent, and the leaders gathered to hear the report. Renara spoke first. Her voice carried authority, but also something warmer than before. The storm is gone. Earth is safe. But the true victory is not merely survival. Humans have shown courage and strength that my people did not expect. Together we can face the future no matter what it brings. The council members listened in awe. Some whispered, others nodded slowly. Leo stood beside Renara, feeling a quiet satisfaction. Humanity had proven itself not through force, but through heart. One of the council members asked, Princess Renara, will your people remain here? Will there be an alliance? Renara's glowing eyes met Leo's, then returned to the council. Yes, our people will stay, not as conquerors, but as allies. We have learned that strength lies in unity, not dominance. Humans have reminded us that connection is more powerful than control. Leo stepped forward. We welcome your people. Together we will share knowledge, explore the stars, and protect each other. This is the start of a new era for both our worlds. The chamber was filled with quiet excitement. For the first time, humans and Virine were not strangers. They were partners, united by experience, understanding, and a shared destiny. After the meeting, Renara and Leo returned to the crystal chamber. The soft glow from the life crystals bathed them in calm light. They did not speak at first, simply enjoying the quiet and the sense of accomplishment. Finally, Renara broke the silence. Commander Leo, I have learned something I did not expect. Your people are remarkable. You have courage, warmth, and strength in ways that cannot be measured. Perhaps humans are exactly what my people need to remember how to survive and thrive. Leo smiled. And perhaps Virine are exactly what we need to learn patience, focus, and balance. Together we can be stronger than we ever imagined. She nodded slowly. Yes, together. For a long moment they stood side by side, feeling the calm energy of the crystals, the warmth of trust, and the light of possibility. Outside, the stars continued to shine, and the future stretched before them, bright and endless. Rhaenyra looked at Leo, her eyes reflecting both curiosity and respect. This is only the beginning. The storm may return, new challenges will arise, and we will face them together. But now I understand something important. Strength is not only in control or power, it is in connection, in courage, in life itself. Leo placed his hand gently on the crystal, feeling its steady pulse. Then we will face the future as allies, not just as representatives of our worlds, but as friends. Together we will endure, and perhaps even thrive. Rhaenyra allowed a faint smile, rare and genuine. Yes, human. Together we will thrive. The glow of the crystals filled the chamber, spreading warmth and light through every corner. Outside, Earth and the Luminar floated in peace, united by the bridge of energy and trust that Leo and Rhaenyra had created. And as the stars watched silently, a new alliance was born. One built not on fear or dominance, but on courage, understanding, and the unexpected strength of humanity. The journey of two worlds had only just begun, and together, they would face whatever the universe could send. For Leo and Rhaenyra, the storm had passed, but a brighter challenge awaited, learning to build a lasting bridge between their people, one heartbeat at a time. And both knew that with trust, connection, and courage, there was nothing they could not face together. The human heart and the Vereen mind had met, and the result was more powerful than either could have imagined. The stars were no longer distant and cold. They were a path forward, shared by two worlds that had learned to touch life in ways neither had expected. And so, the future began.